My name is Janae Miller. I am the vice chair. I'm filling in for our chair who is away on a surprise wedding anniversary trip. So I am filling in for her. Would like to welcome everybody to the September CAGNY meeting. I believe do you have your agenda from me?
I do. We're going to start with welcome and introduction.
Okay, we're gonna start with welcome and introduction. So I'm gonna say my name first and we'll go around the room and then Angie will call on those in Zoom to introduce themselves. So my name is Janae Miller. I am the current vice chair for CAGNY. So we will go to my left. So Ms. Angie's gonna go next.
Hello, I am Angie Wise. I am the City of Columbus ADA coordinator.
Hi, this is Jenny Hanna. I'm the Employee Programs Coordinator for the City of Columbus.
Hello.
You need to be turned on.
Yep.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, no, you had it before.
Yeah, press it again.
Hello, this is.
Oh, there you go. Hello, this is Trisha Kovacs. I'm also commissioner on the CAC.
You're next. Hi, is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hi, my name is Justin Simmons. I'm one of the commissioners here. I'm Bob Reed, a longtime member of the former CACTRI and a current commissioner.
Hi, I'm Josh Berkey. I'm the attorney for CACTI.
Got everyone in the room?
It's not the people around the table in the audience.
Okay. Do we need to?
Yes.
Oh, can we have the people who are guests in the room come up to a mic and introduce yourself, please?
The owl.
You could come up to an owl. You can stand next to an owl and introduce yourself.
Right here.
Just loud enough for the owl. Yep.
Hi, my name is Pedro Mejia. I'm representative from the Department of Neighborhoods.
I'm Tom Diamond, representative for the Department of Technology.
Victoria Solomon, representative from Education.
I'm Sam Smith. I'm here with the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission.
Yeah. We're going forward and then there's the speaker that'll be loud enough to pick up your voice. Yep, right there.
Good afternoon. My name is Jordy Stringer. I'm just an interested party.
So thank you, George Wilkins, I'm a resident of North Linden. Also, my wife is back in the audience, Miss Sarah Elizabeth Easter. Thank you.
People online, let me do some help.
Got everyone in the room?
Yes.
Okay, now I will have Angie help us with making sure we get introductions from those who are online.
So I'm just gonna start in the order that I see people. Alexia.
Hello, this is Alexia. I am a commissioner.
CML_TBS.
Hi, this is Belinda Spinosi, disability advocate. I'm at the library. Thank you.
ASL interpreter Bethany.
Hi, yes, thank you. I'm trying to get the link for my other interpreter. We were struggling, we couldn't get in. We didn't have the right link, so sorry for the delay. He's going to be here in a moment, but you can continue.
Okay, our apologies, thank you. Jennifer Moore.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Moore, representing the Department of Finance.
Katrina.
Hi, I'm Katrina Norris, and I'm a commissioner.
Sarah.
Hi, my name is Sarah. And I'm a deaf advocate for D-Wave. Sorry, I just arrived. There was something going on, but I'm finally settled in here now.
We're glad you could make it. Welcome. And Tiffany.
Good afternoon, Tiffany Kraus. I'm the Assistant Health Commissioner and Chief Nursing Officer at Columbus Public Health.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is just a friendly reminder that when you speak, this is Angie, to please state your name first. Thank you. I'm going to hand the mic back to Janae.
Thank you, everyone, for your introductions. Now, at this time on the agenda, we need to we need to make a change to the agenda today. So I would like to, we're going to make a change where we're going to let Josh Carty, I want to say Cartier, but it's not. Josh, our attorney, do his presentation first, and then we will go into our discussion on the bylaws. So I would like to have someone make a motion that we make an adjustment to our agenda today for the business we need to take care of. Any of the commissioners can make a motion.
This is Trisha, and I'll make a motion that we change the agenda for today.
Okay, and I need a second, please.
This is Bob. Oh. It's hard to tell whether this is on or not. Bob Ream, I'll second the motion.
So I hear Patricia, our Commissioner Kovacs, has made a motion that we make an amendment to our agenda for today, business, and Bob Ream, who is also Commissioner, has seconded. Everyone who is in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Is there anyone who is opposed to this change? Hearing none, the motion has passed. Thank you. So now we will have Mr. I'm gonna call him Quick. He loves making his name sound fancy. He's gonna give his report. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Janae. This is Josh. Many of you know me. I'm an assistant city attorney with the Columbus City Attorney's Office, and I represent CACD. I would just take a few minutes to give what has been labeled as a Robert's Rules refresher and to go over some procedure for the board. You have before you some proposed bylaws for discussion up next. But before that, I wanted to give just a general overview of parliamentary procedure, and it's going to be a very basic overview. My rule and the way I think about Robert's Rules of Order for bodies of this size, we only have 11 commissioners, is that Robert's Rules are really there as a backstop in case we get in a log jam and don't know what is supposed to happen next in terms of procedure. I would say 95% of the time, we will never have to consult Robert's Rules of Order. I did bring an edition with me, just in case my words prove me wrong. But this is an out-of-date edition, so hopefully we don't actually have to get into the weeds too much. The basic rule of parliamentary procedure, though, is as long as there is order maintained among the deliberative body, and CACD here is the deliberative body, the 11 commissioners make up the body, that's okay. That's the main goal, to understand what the body is discussing, what it's voting on, and to allow time for any member to give his or her or their point of view. Janae has done a great job filling in for the chair today, as you saw just with what we had in the agenda change. So a lot of the times, the only parliamentary procedure that CACD will be coming up against is the agenda, making changes to the agenda, and then making substantive motions on pending business items. So we have all three of those here today. We have an agenda with 4, 5, 6, 7 items on it. We had a motion to change the order of the agenda, which is a standard procedural motion that was done perfectly. And then up next, we will have a substantive discussion on the bylaws. And on discussions like this, I will tell the chair or the vice chair, if the vice chair is filling in for the chair, to have the motion, to have a second, have discussion, and then to have a roll call vote. Just to have every commissioner's vote on the record on how the commissioner wished to vote on the substantive item. So as you just saw with a procedural motion, you have a voice vote. There are two types of ways you can record a vote. Voice vote for really sort of run-of-the-mill, procedural, non-controversial votes is how I think of it. And roll call votes for all those votes that are a little bit more important, might have some disagreement about them. Especially if you have dissenting views during discussion, I usually advise to have a roll call vote. But really the only time roll call votes for CACD are required under the law, Ohio's Open Meeting Act, is going into executive session. So if we ever find ourselves in a place where we need to go into executive session, at that point, a roll call vote is required. Those are really the highlights. It's not a lot on Robert's rules. And I think a lot of you are probably well-versed in serving on committees. The main goal is to just understand the procedure, understand what's being discussed, and really understand what the body has voted to approve. So like in the instance of a bylaw update, we have 6 commissioners here present today. That means we have a quorum. We need a majority of 11, so we have 6 of 11. We're good. We can take a vote on the bylaw adoption. And we just need a majority vote on the bylaw. So 4 of the 6 commissioners present to vote in favor of the bylaws means the bylaws will be adopted. All right, I don't really have anything else. This is a short and sweet refresher. It's just really to assuage any concerns or apprehensions you might have about needing to learn Robert's Rules of Order. You don't really. Just take things in turn. Wait to be called on by the chair or vice chair, as the case may be, if you want to add something on a motion that's being discussed. And I think we'll be good to go. And I will try to be here as often as I can to help guide the discussion and help guide the chair in any parliamentary procedures that might generate questions. There we go. That's all I have today.
Thank you, Josh. Is my mic on? Okay, is it on now? No?
It shows it's on.
Yeah, you guys hear me? I don't hear myself.
Try.
Okay,
Line.
thank you, Josh. Okay, for that overview. So what we're gonna do next is, Angie's gonna read each bylaw one by one. And we're gonna have some discussion regarding how that bylaw is written. And after that discussion, we will take a vote on each one by one as to whether we should let that stand or if we need to make changes. So I'm gonna let Angie start with the first bylaw that's written down so we can listen to it and see if there's any discussion around it. And if there's no discussion, we will move for a motion to approve and take a record recorded voice vote as stated. So Angie?
All right, thank you. This is Angie Wise. If you received paper meeting materials, the bylaws are the last stapled papers in there. We are getting ready to put the bylaws in the chat, but they also should have been on the calendar invite as well. I'm going to start with Article 1, name. The name of this organization is the Columbus Advisory Commission on Disability Issues.
Is there any concerns regarding the name as stated in Article 1? This is for the commissioners that are present, just to be clear.
This is Tricia correct. I have no concern on the name.
You say you have no concern about the name, Tricia?
Correct.
Okay. Any of the other commissioners that are present, do you have any concern about the name? That you want to discuss?
Justin Simmons here, no issues.
Okay. I'll give another quick second. Anybody else? Any of our commissioners who are on Zoom? Any concerns?
Ask for a motion to vote.
Okay, I would like for one of our commissioners to please make a motion for, to vote on Article 1, please.
So moved, Bob Reed.
So, Bob, you made a motion. Is there a second?
Commissioner Kovacs, I second that article.
For Article 1, so the motion is Bob is, making a motion that we approve Article 1 of the bylaws. Tricia Kovacs, Commissioner, has made a second to that. Everyone in favor?
We're gonna do it.
Roll call vote. Oh, name call vote.
Jennifer's gonna go down the.
Okay, so we're gonna do a name call vote to see who's all in favor.
This is Jenny. Katrina Norris, how do you vote on Article 1?
I'm in favor.
Janae Miller, how do you vote on Article 1?
I'm in favor.
Justin Simmons,
In favor.
Tricia Kovacs. I'm in favor. Alexia Kimmerly
In favor.
and Bob Green.
I'm in favor.
Thank you.
It's passed.
This is Angie. Article 2, purpose. The purpose of this commission is to A, advise the mayor's office, city council, and city departments on policies, programs, and services that affect individuals with disabilities. B, advocate for the rights and needs of individuals with disabilities within the community. C, promote awareness and understanding of disability issues among residents and businesses in Columbus. D, recommend strategies to improve accessibility and inclusivity in public and private spaces.
Thank you, Angie. This is Commissioner Janae. Is there any discussion regarding Article 2? Hearing no discussion needed, I would like someone to please make a motion that we pass Article 2 of the bylaws.
This is Tricia Kovacs. I'll make a motion that we pass Article 2 of the bylaw.
I need a second, please. Second person, second motion.
Bob Reed, I will second this motion.
So Patricia Kovacs has made a second that we pass Article 2. Bob Ream has second. We will now have a roll call vote.
This is Jenny. Katrina Norris, how do you vote on Article 2?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons,
In favor.
Tricia Kovacs. In favor. Alexia Kimmerly
In favor.
and Bob Green.
In favor.
Thank you.
The motion, the article motion has passed. Thank you. Angie?
Article 3, membership. The commission shall consist of 11 members appointed by the mayor with the advice and consent of the city council. Members shall include individuals with disabilities, family members of individuals with disabilities, representatives from disability advocacy organizations, and other stakeholders with relevant expertise and experience. The mayor, city attorney, president of city council, each of the city's various departments, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and Columbus Public Health shall each appoint one city employee to serve as a non-voting advisor to the commission. Of the 11 members so appointed, 3 shall serve an initial term for 1 year, 4 for 2 years, and 4 for 3 years, and thereafter appointments shall be for 3-year terms. Commissioners may submit a written statement to the Department of Human Resources affirming their intent to continue serving on the commission at least 2 months before the expiration of their current term. No member shall make statements on behalf of CACTI without prior approval from the chairperson and ADA coordinator.
Thank you, Angie. Is there any questions or discussion regarding this particular bylaw amendment number 3. I do have one question myself. Angie, so for this current body, is the end of the first term here, that in June of next year?
This is Angie. Yes, that is correct. And Alexia has her hand raised online. Go ahead, Alexia.
Yes, Alexia.
This is Alexia. I had 2 questions. One is, I remember like a previous draft including something about term limits. Is that something we want to also have in this version? And then my second question is if we want to add any sort of statement encouraging the commission to consider diversity across a range of factors when trying to solicit new members.
Angie, you want to speak to that?
This is Angie. I'll speak to the first part. We do not, the ordinance does not have term limits for commissioners. So that is why this bylaw draft does not include that. As far as commissioners who are recommended to the mayor to be appointed, we specifically tried to make it as open-ended as possible for people to include information that they felt comfortable sharing on the application, and using the application as the recommendation committee to review people's lived experiences and how those lived experiences could best help the commission.
Any other questions or discussion around this particular article number 3? Alexia, one question, did that cover what you were concerned about?
This Alexia, I think so. I'm curious other people's opinions. Is no term limits, is that a common thing across city commissions? That seems kind of wild, right? Like theoretically it could just be the same 11 people forever.
Hello, this is Josh. Believe it or not, there are, I don't think, any term limits of any elected office or any commission or board across the city, which is different than the state of Ohio and other offices folks might be used to, but in fact, the city does not have term limits as far as I'm aware.
Hi, Josh and everyone. This is Chelsea Golterman with Councilmember White's office. Sorry, I could not be there in person. The Utility Advisory Board does have terms connected to their board membership, and they kind of stagger based on, there's some that are 2 and some that are 4. But that is the only one that I am familiar with. So.
This is Josh. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Chelsea. If there's no more discussion regarding this particular amendment.
This is Angie. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm not sure if I should raise my hand because not everyone can see that. I'm kind of struggling with this, making statements on behalf of CACT, because I may be in a public setting and talk about the group. At what point would something I say be considered speaking on behalf of CACT? And then the relevant opposite question is, who is empowered to speak on behalf of CACT?
Bob, I think what you're asking is another article further down. I believe. I don't think that's covered in this article that we're trying to.
This is in the article.
This is Angie. Actually, this is the appropriate article.
This is part of the article? Okay, I wanted to make sure. Okay, go ahead.
So, Bob, you are certainly permitted when you are at other meetings to say that you are a commissioner of CACT, but without prior approval, this article is saying that you cannot go and say CACT has determined this.
Okay. if it's publicly announced that CACI has taken a position on something, may I quote that at that point?
Yeah.
This is Josh. That's how I would interpret this article. So CACD speaks through its resolutions, its motions, like, for instance, after the bylaw vote is taken, that will be the official position of CACD. And I would say members could then go out and represent that CACD has taken that position.
This is Angie. Katrina, I see your hand. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Katrina. Just going back to the paragraph about the different term years, 2 years, 3 years, etc. There was a list, or I believe this was discussed in June, who would be under each category. Is that list still, does that list still stand?
This is Angie. Yes, that list
Okay.
still stands. I can send that out after this meeting. That's the one piece of paper I don't have with me. But yeah, so those are your initial terms. And so that will be based on, you know, the months prior to that of whether you will continue. Was there another question in the room first? No? Go ahead, Janae.
I have a question. So based on that list, and if I'm understanding how this article is written when it comes to terms, it said something about officers serving two-year terms. Is that still, because that's kind of confusing.
This is
that-
Angie. Yes, so officers is a different article, so we are not to that section yet.
Okay.
This is just on your term
I
as
can't
a
remember
commissioner.
which one was which. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other discussion? If not, we can move for a vote. Hearing no other discussion, I would like a commissioner to make a motion regarding this, article number 3.
Bob Ream, I will so move.
I need a second for this motion as well.
Justin Simmons, motion.
Second.
So Bob has made a motion that we vote and pass Article 3. Justin Simmons has seconded that. Now we will have a voice vote.
This is Jenny. Katrina Norris, how do you vote on Article 3?
In favor.
Janae Miller.
In favor.
Justin Simmons.
Justin, in favor.
Trisha Kovacs.
Trisha, in favor.
Alexia Cumberland.
In favor.
Bob Green.
In favor.
Thank you.
The motion has passed. We'll now move on to Article number 4. Angie?
This is Angie. Article 4, removal. A commissioner may be removed from the commission for neglect of duty, excessive absence, misfeasance, malfeasance, or other conduct deemed inconsistent with the responsibilities and integrity of the commission, as determined by 2/3 vote of the commission. A commissioner subject to removal shall receive written notice outlining the grounds for removal, including specific instances of neglect of duty, absence, misfeasance, malfeasance, or other conduct deemed inconsistent with the responsibilities of the commission, and an opportunity to be heard before the commission. A vote upon removal by the commission shall serve as a recommendation to the mayor's office, which shall have final authority to remove the commissioner in accordance with section 61 of the city charter.
Thank you, Angie. Is there any discussion regarding Article number 4 from any of the commissioners who are present?
This is Trisha Kovacs. I just want to express that it seems very negative. Our old removal was just missing 3 or more meetings a year. But I'm not going to oppose this one because I understand it's part of the section 61 of the city charter. I just feel like, you know, if you have to leave, they're going to think you did something terribly wrong. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Angie, can you repeat what Tricia said? I didn't really understand what she was saying.
This is Angie. Yes, Janae's asked for me to repeat. I think Trisha was just expressing that she felt like the language was a little strong and might reflect negatively on a commissioner if they were removed. And she was expressing that.
Okay.
And today I'm not opposing this. I just saying that that's just my feeling about it, but. And the other thing is the old one did say 3 or more meetings. This one just says excessive absence. I guess we can just decide if 2 or more or 5 or more is excessive.
This is Angie, and attendance is another article, so that will come up, and yeah.
Yeah. I do have one question, Janae, as commissioner. When you say 2/3, can you give me like a number for that? I'm not the best at percentages. So like, we know a quorum is 6 and there's 11 commissioners, what would be considered 2/3?
This is Josh. That would be 7 of 11. So it would be of the total number of commissioners then serving and appointed. Right now, we have 11 commissioners, and if my math is correct offhand, I think that's 7.
7, okay. I just wanted to have a solid number in my head. Thank you. Any other discussion regarding article number 4? If not, we will move for a vote.
Bob has it.
Bob?
I have 2 comments. The first one, which just came up. There's a discrepancy between a quorum and the entire membership of the commission, and we need to be absolutely clear what we're talking about. Because earlier we were talking about 6 members or something, and then this time it was counting the entire membership in terms of the 2/3. I think it needs to be absolutely clear which is being talked about.
Would Angie or Josh would like to speak to that?
This is Angie. Yes, thank you, Bob. We will make sure that if this ever comes up with the commission, that we will clarify whether we need a quorum to proceed or whether we're doing something that's only gonna require 2/3 vote by the commissioners. So whenever the commission is voting on something, there needs to be a quorum, which would be 6 of the 11 commissioners.
Okay.
This is Josh. Removal, though, requires a higher standard. And so I have some proposed language, if it's a concern for the other commissioners. At the beginning of the first sentence, at the end of the first sentence, it says, as determined by 2/3 vote of the commission. If there is concern that that is ambiguous as to what number we're talking about, you could, Janae, entertain a motion to amend this article as presented to state, as determined by 2/3 vote of the commission members then serving. That would make it clear that we're talking about the entire number of the commissioners then serving. I'll repeat that just so you can consider it and you don't have to take this recommendation. It would be as determined by 2/3 vote of the commission members then serving. That's just a suggestion for the board to consider.
Any thoughts around Josh's proposed language change to this amendment?
This is Chelsea. Obviously, I am not a commissioner and I am non-voting. But just to say, I think if it is a concern, that language that he just went over could be helpful if it comes to a time when the commission does not have all of the seats filled. If there's a vacancy that you all are still waiting to fill, I think that language would help with that situation as well.
This is Janae. I actually like the suggestion of the adjustment of language to make it clearer. That's my opinion.
This is Tricia. I agree with you, Janae. I agree with the language that Josh proposed.
So, Tricia, would you like to make a motion that we possibly make an adjustment to that language?
Yeah, Tricia makes a motion that we change the language as Josh proposed.
Is there someone who would like to second Tricia's amendment to the amendment?
This Alexia will second.
Okay, thank you, Alexia. Now we will take a voice vote regarding this change to the amendment of this bylaw.
This is Jenny. Josh, can you repeat your suggested changes so I can write it down first?
So to be clear, this vote is on Article 4 with an amendment to the language that was sent around. And that amendment, I will read the first sentence in its entirety with the amended language. A commissioner may be removed from the commission for neglect of duty, excessive absence, misfeasance, malfeasance, or other deemed inconsistent with the responsibilities and integrity of the commission. Determined by 2/3 of the commission members then serving. The 3 words members then serving are what are being added.
This is Jen. Thank you, Josh. Okay. Article 4, Katrina Norris, how do you vote?
In favor with that change.
Thank you. Janae Miller,
In favor of the change.
Justin Simmons. In favor of the change. Thank you. Trisha Kovacs,
In favor.
Alexia Kemmerling,
In favor.
Bob Green.
In favor?
Thank you.
Thank you for, that. Angie?
This is Angie. Article 5, vacancies. Vacancies on the commission shall remain open until the commencement of the annual nomination cycle. At that time, a formal call for applications will be issued. Submitted applications will be reviewed by the commission, which will then make recommendations for appointment to the mayor, subject to the advice and consent of the city council.
Any discussion regarding article number 5? Any concerns regarding how this amendment is written for the bylaw?
Hi, this is Pedro from Neighborhoods. It may not be specific to this article. I can't seem to find something about a commissioner voluntarily resigning and how that procedure may occur. So if I am correct and didn't catch it in there, maybe vacancies is a good article to include, that a commissioner may submit in writing their resignation. Having managed another commission, this could be important because that would create a vacancy in a specific year, and somebody may need appointed to the remainder of that term. And so that would need to be kept track of. So just wanted to bring that to the attention of the commission.
I actually like that recommendation. Thank you, Pedro?
Yes.
Thank you, Pedro. I like that recommendation. Any thoughts around what Pedro's saying to those commissioners who are present?
Trisha here, I just want to make sure I understood. So you're saying if someone resigns, we would want to appoint someone immediately rather than wait for the next nomination cycle?
Bob, can I get back in here? This is Pedro. Patricia, not necessarily. I think that in here it mentions that vacancy would stay until there's something called a nomination session. I can't remember exactly what it says. So I'm not necessarily stating that it is immediately appointed, but I was just stating that maybe I think the current bylaws lack a clarified method by which a commissioner could voluntarily resign, say if they move or become too busy. This could be an article where stating something such as a commissioner may submit their resignation in writing to the Department of Human Resources, considering that it would create a vacancy. So that was more of my point, and how that vacancy is filled, I think, is addressed in the bylaws and is your discussion to have.
Okay, thank you, Pedro, and I think I agree with you that we could leave it as a vacancy like we are with the person being removed until the next nomination. Just to make it simpler.
This is Josh. Just to be clear on what the commission has before it and my interpretation of Article 5 as it stands right now. So it states that vacancies shall remain open until the commencement of the annual nomination cycle. So for instance, if someone is removed, passes away, submits their resignation today, their seat would remain vacant until the next nomination cycle, which occurs in the spring, to align with the terms of the office holder. If the commission is fine with that, waiting, then I would leave the article as is. If, however, you want some other process to fill a vacancy more quickly, then we'll need to come up with some language to amend Article 5 as presented.
Thank you, Josh. I have concerns about a vacancy, like that, and other things I'm involved in. If someone resigns, you know, you would need somebody to come in and fill that spot so the work can continue. And I think the same thing should apply here. That's my view.
This is Angie. I'd just like to offer the perspective of the process of filling a vacancy and why the language is why it is. Because there are 11 commissioners, we thought that there would be still enough if there was voluntary vacancies to not have to continually do the process of the recommendation, having a call for applications, having to review the applications, bringing it to the commission to vote. And so that's the reason why it's left as is.
Thank you, Angie. That makes some sense. Any other discussion?
My imagination is Bob Regan. My imagination is going into this amazing, unlikely situation that too many commissioners leave all at the same time. And there's some minimum number below which we have reached. What happens until the next nomination cycle?
This is Josh. So it's a not ideal situation, but it does happen from time to time with boards across the state that your number has dipped to maybe even 1 or 2 commissioners. As long as, generally speaking, as long as there's more than one, you can transact business. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until someone fills that role. That's not ideal, so that might counsel in favor of having a more quick, vacancy filling process, but it's up to the commission. The ordinance only states that vacancies shall be filled in the same manner as the original appointment. So you have flexibility on how you want to fill vacancies or recommend the filling of vacancies. I should be clear. The mayor appoints the members with city council approval, but the commission could have a role in making recommendations.
Thank you, Josh. Any other concerns before we move on regarding this particular bylaw? Hearing none. I'd like to have someone make a motion that we accept as is, unless someone thinks needs to be a change.
This is Trish. I'll go ahead and motion that we pass Article 5 as written.
Is there a second to Tricia's motion?
Yes, Justin Simmons, I second that motion.
So Patricia has motion that we pass Article 5 as is. Justin as second. Now we will have a record vote.
This is Jenny. Katrina Norris, how do you vote on Article 5?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons,
In favor.
Tricia Kovacs,
In favor.
Alexia Keverlin,
In favor.
Bob Ring.
In favor.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Angie? Article 6.
This is Angie. I'm going to read the article in its entirety. Article 6, officers. The commission shall elect by majority vote of the membership a chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, and historian from among its members to serve a term of 2 years. The chairperson shall preside over meetings of the commission, and the vice chairperson shall preside in the absence of the chairperson. Commission leadership will also consult the ADA coordinator for the ADA coordinator's advice on meeting agendas, city ADA administration, and other matters pertaining to the commission. A, duties of chairperson. The chairperson will develop all agenda items in conjunction with the ADA coordinator, preside at all meetings, be available for consultation at the request of the ADA coordinator, or locate assistance from among the membership, communicate to the entire membership of the commission communications they have received or disseminated. B, duties of vice chairperson. The vice chairperson will preside over meetings in the chairperson's absence and will assist the chairperson with other duties on request. C, duties of secretary. The secretary will receive the agenda from the chairperson and distribute it to members of the commission 1 week prior to the meeting, along with any additional meeting materials. D, duties of historian. The historian will finalize the official meeting minutes for the current month no later than 1 week following the meeting, track recommendations made to the City of Columbus. E, duties of ADA coordinator. The ADA coordinator will schedule the meeting space for commission meetings, schedule American Sign Language interpreters and other accommodations, post the agenda to the commission website 1 week prior to the meeting, record attendance during the meeting, post approved meeting minutes to the website 1 week following the meeting. F, duties of commission leadership. Commission leadership will meet 2 weeks prior to each scheduled commission meeting for the purpose of developing and finalizing the meeting agenda. G, terms of office. Officers shall not serve more than 2 consecutive terms in the same position. H, elections. Officers shall be confirmed through a majority vote of the commissioners during a convened meeting at the conclusion of an officer's term.
Thank you, Angie. Any discussion regarding article number 6? Hearing no discussion, I'd like our commissioner to make a motion that we approve article number 6.
This is Tricia. I'll motion that we accept article number 6 as written.
Is there a second to Tricia's motion?
This is Katrina. I can second that.
So Patricia has made a motion that we accept article number 6. Katrina has seconded that. Now we will have a record vote.
Thank you. This is Jenny. Katrina Norris, how do you vote on Article 6?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons,
In favor.
Tricia Kovacs,
In favor.
Alexia Kemmerling,
In favor.
and Bob Green.
In favor.
Thank you.
Thank you all. What's your name? Angie. I'm sorry, I went blank for 1 second.
Okay. Article 7, meetings. Voting members of the commission shall meet at least 6 times annually and at such other times as determined by the chairperson or a majority of the members. Non-voting members shall attend at least 4 meetings annually. B, all meetings shall be open to the public. The commission may conduct its meetings in person or by means of teleconference, video conference, or any other similar electronic technology, or by a combination thereof. The commission shall ensure that the public has access to the discussions and deliberations of the commission when commission meetings are conducted in whole or in part by means of teleconference, video conference, or any other similar electronic technology to the same extent that the public would have been able to attend an in-person meeting of the commission, and commensurate with the method with the commission is utilizing. The chairperson shall maintain order during the meeting within the framework of the established meeting agenda. All business transacted during a meeting must be done by motion, duly seconded and receiving the majority support of the voting members of the commission presently appointed, serving, and in attendance at the meeting unless otherwise provided for in these bylaws. Procedures not described in these bylaws shall be governed by the most recent edition of Robert's Rules of Order. C, a majority of the voting members of the commission presently appointed and serving shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. Members attending meetings by means of teleconference, video conference, or any other similar technology shall be considered present for the purposes of transacting business. The commission shall ensure that the public is able to hear the discussions of each commission member, whether the member is participating in person or electronically. D, the commission will endeavor to meet 10 times annually, but shall meet at least 6 times annually with no scheduled meetings during the months of July and December. E, special meetings may be called by the chairperson or ADA coordinator. Notice of a special meeting shall be given to each commissioner at least 72 hours before the time of the meeting. The manner of delivery shall be the same used to distribute regular meeting materials. F, public comment periods shall be scheduled at the discretion of the chairperson, contingent upon the meeting agenda. When permitted, public comments shall be limited to a maximum of 3 speakers, each allotted 3 minutes to address the commission. Requests for public comment may be submitted beginning 1 week prior to the meeting and up until 24 hours before the meeting. If more than 3 requests are received, speakers will be selected by random draw. All requests should be directed to the ADA coordinator.
Thank you, Angie. Is there any, my mic on?
Yes, it's on.
Thank you, Angie. If there's any discussion regarding article number 7 as written and read?
Tricia, and I'm sorry, I stepped out for a second, but is there any talk of the executive session part of these meetings, like where we might go to executive session and not be open to the public?
This is Josh. That's a great question, Tricia. It is not discussed in the bylaws. It's not necessary to be in the bylaws. It's in section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Sometimes organizations in the city will put the executive session language in their bylaws. It is not a legal requirement to have that though.
Okay, thank you. I just wondered, because I thought usually they say that in some other things I've read. But if you don't think it's necessary, that's fine.
Thank you, Patricia. Any other discussion regarding article number 7?
Bob Ream, I have a question.
Go ahead, Bob.
The ability of anybody who is currently sitting in a room or in another meeting to spontaneously ask a brief question.
This is Josh. The way I would interpret this section is, for instance, we have had comments from other members of city departments during this discussion. That is at the discretion of the chair. Those members, they're not members of CACD, they're non-voting advisory members. For instance, Mr. Mejia, Chelsea spoke as well. They're representing their departments or city council. So that would be at the discretion of the chair. Public comment is really reserved for something else. It's members of the general public who are not a commissioner or a non-voting advisory member of the commission.
Thank you for that clarification, Josh.
Alexia, go ahead. You have your hand up. This is Angie.
This is Alexia. Yeah, I had a question on that section as well. I'm curious if the limit of a maximum of 3 speakers is something that is standard across commissions. It seems potentially really small. Like I could imagine a meeting where we're discussing something that we really want a lot of community input on, or maybe something has happened in the community that a lot of folks want to speak on to the commission, and it feels like it could be our role to hear that in order to then advise the city. So I'm curious if the maximum of 3 is a normal thing, or if we should adjust that at all.
This is Josh. The number of speakers is up to the discretion of the commission, so you could change that up or down. You do not have to have public comment. If you do choose to have public comment as reflected in this article, I would recommend setting some guidelines because it can have a tendency to absorb a meeting. But to your point, Alexia, sometimes there are matters of great importance that would come before the commission. One option you could put into section F of Article 7 is to state that something along the lines of the general rule is 3 speakers per meeting, unless that's waived by a vote of the commission. So you could add a little clause at the end of the 3 speaker sentence and say, you know, it's 3 speakers unless the commission decides otherwise in a meeting, something to that effect.
I actually like that suggestion, because that leaves some wiggle room, because I believe Alexia has a point. Genetic speaking, Vice Chair.
So the language I would propose, if that is the consensus of the commission, would be to state in sentence 2 of subsection F, at the very end, I would place a comma and then state unless waived by the commission. So the whole sentence would read, and this is the second sentence of F, when permitted, public comments shall be limited to a maximum of 3 speakers, each allotted 3 minutes to address the commission, comma, unless waived by the commission.
If I could add, you could also just add nuance and say you allow X amount of speakers for on agenda items and then off agenda items. That's how city council does it. They do allow 3 speakers on agenda and then also 3 off agenda. And they are limited to 3 minutes. That's for official meetings. However, each chair of each committee does it differently. Councilmember White does not limit public testimony or give them a time limit. I do think the recommended language gives you the ambiguity to be flexible. So I do think that you have multiple options, but that what Josh suggested would give you the most flexibility.
Was that Chelsea that was speaking?
Yeah.
Thank you, Chelsea. If I could just add
Yes,
one more.
this is Chelsea. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Thank you, Chelsea. I just want to add one more thing. And the other thing, even though Alexia had a good point, and I like Josh's amendment for sentence 2, we do have this room for an hour and a half, so that's kind of why we want to have some guardrails to have a wiggle room there if we need to have a deeper discussion. So I still go back to I like Josh's amendment. So if anyone else agrees with me on Joshua's amendment, I would like to have a motion to amend Article 7, sentence number 2, letter F.
This is Alexia. I motion to amend section 7, letter F with Josh's suggestion.
Thank you, Alexia. Yeah, is there a second?
Aubrey, I can't say so moved, so second.
So Alexia has made a motion that we take Josh's suggestion on Article 7, letter F, sentence number 2, and Bob has seconded that motion as well. So we would now have a record vote on this adjustment and change to make this amendment with Article 7. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Jenny. Katrina Norris, how do you vote?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons, Trisha Kovacs,
In favor.
Alexia Kemmerly,
In favor.
Bob Green.
In favor?
Thank you.
Thank you all for doing that. Angie?
This is Angie, Article 8, Subcommittees. The establishment and structure of subcommittees shall be determined following the completion of the commission's initial 1-year period of operation.
Any discussion around article number 8? Pretty straightforward, in my opinion.
This is Tricia. I guess I don't understand this one. Can you explain it better?
This is Angie. We would just be holding off on creating additional subcommittees until 1 year of the initial start of the commission. So that would be June of next year. That would allow us time to, the leadership team, to do some strategic planning and kind of have some more meetings under our belt before we then start additional meetings with the subcommittees.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm only on here for 1 year, maybe you guys will reappoint me later, but, I feel like I hope that it doesn't have to just be a subcommittee that works on particular policy or program that we wanna do. It doesn't have to necessarily be done by a subcommittee or.
This is Angie. Yes, that would be kind of the principle of this, is that it would be done in a full committee. And even though your term is 1 year, as long as you would like to continue and you would submit your letter to Human Resources, then you would continue. I saw a hand briefly, but online. But does anyone online have anything? Katrina, go ahead.
I was just curious about that timing, if by chance we are ready to form subcommittees before that, if there's any wiggle room there, or like what the reason is for the 1 year time frame.
This is Angie. The 1 year timeframe is really just to give us some time to work within the framework of the entire commission, get to know each other a little bit better, make sure we get these bylaws passed so that we have rules to work off of, and to allow us to come together as an entire group to discuss, where we see CAPD moving forward. And so Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, there would be no wiggle room in this verbiage.
This is Josh. So under Article 8 as written, correct, you wouldn't have the ability to establish a subcommittee until July of next year. That being said, if the commission wants to go a different direction here, you could simply state that the establishment and structure of subcommittees shall be as determined by the commission. That way, if in 4 months you decide now's the time for a subcommittee, you could do that without having the bylaw language restricting you. But as it stands right now, Article 8, you would need to wait until July of next year to establish subcommittees.
This is Katrina. Thank you for explaining that. I don't have a strong preference either way.
This is Tricia. As long as the full commission can address things that doesn't have to be establishing a subcommittee to do so, I'm okay with this.
This is Janae. Angie, can you repeat what Patricia was saying? I couldn't understand her.
This is Angie. Tricia said that, if I'm interpreting correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong, that she said as long as the full committee is able to have these discussions, then we would not necessarily have to create the subcommittees at this time. Is that correct?
That's what I meant. Yeah, so like if we wanted to establish some policy or, do some kind of process or program in the meantime, before the year's up.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other concerns regarding Article 8? Hearing no discussion, would someone like to make a motion that we accept Article 8 as is written?
Tricia, I will motion that we accept Article 8 as written.
Thank you, Patricia. Is there a second?
Preston here, I second the motion.
So Patricia has made a motion that we accept Article 8 as written. Justin has seconded that motion. Now we will have a record vote.
Thank you. This is Jenny. For Article 8, Katrina Norris, how do you vote?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons, In favor. Trisha Kovacs,
In favor.
Alexia Kemmerling,
In favor.
and Bob Green.
In favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Angie?
Article 9, duties and responsibilities. The commission shall: A, provide recommendations on proposed city policies, programs, legislation, and services that impact individuals with disabilities. B, review information and data related to quality outcomes of city services for individuals with disabilities. C, gather information on issues affecting individuals with disabilities in Columbus. D, organize and participate in public awareness campaigns and educational programs related to disability issues. E, submit an annual report to the mayor and city council summarizing the commission's activities and recommendations.
Thank you, Angie. Any questions or discussion regarding Article, is it 9? Article 9 in all its parts.
This is Trisha. I think this is perfect.
Thank you, Tricia. Any other discussion around Article number 9? Hearing none, I would like to have someone make a motion that we accept Article 9 as it is written.
Bob Green, so moved.
Bob has made the motion that we accept Article 9 as written. Is there a second?
I'm sorry.
One second. All right. This is Trisha. I'll second that.
So Bob has made the motion to accept Article 9 as written, and Patricia has seconded that motion. We will now have a record vote.
Thank you. This is Jenny. Article 9, Katrina Norris, how do you vote?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons,
In favor.
Trisha Kovacs,
In favor.
Alexia Kemmerling,
In favor.
and Bob Green.
Favor?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Angie?
Article 10, amendments. These bylaws may be amended by a vote of 2/3 of the commissioners. Written notice of the proposed changes must be made to each member at least 10 days prior to the scheduled vote. The bylaws will be reviewed as necessary for possible changes.
Any discussion regarding Article 10?
Bob Green, I think we should revise the 2/3 of commissioners to use the same change we did previously.
This is Josh. So if I'm understanding correctly, Bob's suggestion is to add the words "then serving" after the words "the commissioner." So the first sentence would read in its entirety. These bylaws may be amended by a vote of 2/3 of the commissioners then serving. Is that correct, Bob? Bob's nodding yes.
Any objections to that amendment to Article number 10? Hearing no objections, Bob, would you like to make a motion regarding your amendment regarding Article 10?
I probably should make that motion myself.
Yes.
Bob Green,
So you want to make a motion to have a couple words added as Josh has read off and for Article number 10 to reflect 2/3 indication in the bylaw. Is that correct?
so moved.
Okay, and I need a second to Bob's motion.
Trisha, I second that.
Okay, thank you, Tricia. Now we will have a record vote regarding Article 10.
Thank you. Article 10, Katrina Norris, how do you vote?
In favor.
Janae Miller,
In favor.
Justin Simmons,
In favor.
Trisha Kovacs,
In favor?
Alexia Keverly,
In favor.
and Bob Green.
In favor?
Thank you. That was our last amendment.
That's our last article, so we have, bylaws, is that correct, Angie?
That is correct.
Well done, commissioners.
And this is Josh Curti. I have to go for another meeting, but congratulations, everybody, and I'll see you at next month's meeting.
Thank you.
Let's see.
This is Angie. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Janae, if I may, moving on to another point of the agenda, we have Josh Davis, the HR fiscal manager here to give the budget presentation.
Yes, that's fine, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Josh Davis, fiscal manager for the Department of Human Resources. I wanted to take a brief few minutes to talk about the budget and procurement as far as it goes for the city of Columbus. I guess we'll start out with what's
Sir, can you
already.
speak up a little bit, please? Speak a little louder.
Can everybody hear me okay? Is that
Yes,
better?
that's better.
Perfect.
Project your voice, thank you.
Sounds great, thank you. So I want to talk about what is currently encumbered for CAFD. In 2024, in December, when CAFD started, we encumbered $10,000. Of that $10,000, we've spent $4,540. All of it on interpreting services to this point, which remains $5,460 left to be spent. I know that there is a contract in the works currently for Braille services. That will be, I don't remember, a couple $100, which gives us about $5,000 left to spend for the 2024 money. We also just submitted our 2026 operating budget, in which $10,000 was proposed for the CAFD expenses, all of which were, or some were in materials and supplies, and others were in purchase services. Sorry, forgive me. As far as spending said money, we have to have registered vendors with the city of Columbus. And individuals or companies can do so by going to the cityofcolumbus.com or the city of Columbus, or let's say columbus.gov, forgive me. They can register on the vendor services portal. And from there, they can do everything they need to become a registered vendor. Every single year, we have a new operating budget in which we make budget proposals each and every year. During the year, we can propose whatever, within reason, of course, whatever we want. So Angie Wise, as the ADA coordinator, is kind of the liaison, if you will, for those budget proposals. And I think that's pretty much about it.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question, if I may ask of you or Angie. When you all are establishing the budget for the commission, what factors are you looking at to determine is that a city council decision when they decide it's 10,000? How does that actually work?
So in 2024, it was probably a mix between the Department of Human Resources, and it was also approved by City Council. The City Council has to approve all legislation put before them at City Council meetings.
Okay, thank you. I have a follow-up question to that. So what if something happens based on our commission work and we may need more than just $10,000? How would that work?
This is Josh Davis. That would be depending on the available funds in the specific fund that we use to provide those, to provide money. So for instance, if our fund doesn't have as much money to provide, if we don't have the appropriation, so the budget authority, then we can't do more, I guess, if that makes sense.
Understood. Just inquiring. Thank you.
This is Tricia. If I could comment and ask a question. First of all, as someone who's attended the committee meetings for almost 20 years, I'm really pleased that we finally have a budget because we never had it before. Although we have, the ADA coordinator's time, that takes money, but, and my question is, if we don't spend the 10K, does it just go back to the general fund each year?
This is Josh. Thank you for your question. It depends, is the correct answer for that. So, if it is legislated, there's not necessarily an expiration date. We should get rid of it, or cancel off any unused funds. If we don't have a legal reason or obligation to keep them. But as long as we budget funds every single year for CACD, then they have funds to use during that fiscal year. And the fiscal year for the city of Columbus is the calendar year, so it goes from January to December.
All right, thank you very much.
Alexia, I see you had a question online.
This is Alexia. I'm curious if they're like who on the commission, or is it the ADA coordinator? How do we decide how we're allocating our budget?
This is Angie. That is a discussion that we can have with members of the commission. Currently, it is for the American Sign Language interpreters and Braille services. So if we wanted to determine that that money would be used for something else, then the commission would need to have that discussion and decide on that. But there are limits as to what we are able to use the money for, which do you want to get into that a little bit, Josh? Not me, no. If we will, as it comes up, we can discuss how the money is allocated and what it would be able to be used for.
No one else has a question for Josh? If not, I want to thank you, Josh, for your presentation.
Thank you.
This is Angie. Moving along to another agenda item, the approval of meeting minutes all the way back from June, July, and August. So everyone has received printed materials of those. They were attached to the calendar invite. And so you should have had time to review them prior to the meeting. So we're going to take only a few minutes right now and to see if anybody has any comments on the past 3 months meeting minutes, so we can get those approved.
Are there any comments or questions regarding the last 3 months of meeting minutes?
This is Tricia. I just noticed a couple small things in the June meeting minutes in section 4214. There was a sentence that just kind of trailed off and didn't look like it was completed. Just whether or not it was worth waiting since historically the commissioners, and then I don't know what that was supposed to be. That was one minor thing. The second one was in the August meeting minutes.
Well, can we let's pause right there, Tricia. This is Angie. So in the June meeting minutes, section 4.2.14, it states Justin asked whether or not it was worth waiting since historically the commissioners. Justin, I believe, do you want to fill in that sentence? I kind of remember what you said, but
Yeah, I think we were, voting.
yes, this is Angie, whether to proceed with officer elections and based on how many commissioners were present at the meeting.
So yeah, that's just updated before it's put on the website, that's fine. I just thought it was a little confusing.
This is Angie. Thank you for pointing that out. So I will add, the sentence will say, Justin asked whether or not it was worth waiting since historically the commissioners that are in attendance have been the ones that have been attending.
Okay.
Is there any other questions or corrections regarding the June, July, or August meeting minutes?
Again, a very minor one, but in the August meeting, that's in 2.110.2. Just the spelling of VO should be VEO, not VIO. It's the name of the scoot company.
This is Angie. Thank you for catching that.
Thank you, Patricia. One last call. Is there any other corrections regarding the June, July, or August meeting minutes? Hearing none, would someone please make a motion that we accept the June, July, and August meeting minutes with corrections based on what was stated by Patricia, please?
Oh, I'll go ahead and say, let's move to accept the 3-month meeting minutes.
As corrected?
As corrected, yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to Patricia's motion to accept the June, July, and August meeting minutes as corrected?
Bob Reed, second.
Thank you, Howard.
Justin Simmons, I second that.
Justin, Bob got it. Thank you, sweetheart. Do we need to do a record vote for this too?
This is Angie. We do not need to do a roll call. We just need to do a verbal vote.
Okay. Is everybody in favor of accepting the June, July, and August minutes? If you're in favor, please say aye, as corrected.
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed
Aye.
to accepting the meeting minutes? Okay, hearing no opposition, thank you, everyone. We have approved the meeting minutes.
This is Angie. Very exciting. I will get that up on the CACD website by 1 week's time per the new bylaws. I'll give a very brief ADA coordinator update. As Josh kind of already alluded to, as of yesterday, we have a Braille vendor who has submitted all of their paperwork to become a city vendor. So starting at our October meeting, we will be able to provide agendas in Braille. So thank you to Josh. That was quite the effort to get that done. Our October meeting is going to be October 23rd. So we've been meeting in this room, which has, I think, worked out very well for all of us. However, the hearing room in the Michael B. Coleman building should be ready for the October meeting. I have asked if we will be able to continue to have access to the technology in this room. I got an email right before this meeting, and I'm not quite sure that that's going to happen. So as of right now, we will plan on returning to the Michael B. Coleman building in the hearing room for our October meeting. Which is not what it says on the agenda, but we will send an updated calendar invite. And that is all of the information that I have.
This is Commissioner Janae. I have a question. Where is where are we going now?
This is Angie. The Michael B. Coleman building is the building that is directly across the street from us. So if you have not yet attended a meeting there, you do have to go through security to enter the building. And so that requires an ID.
Okay.
And it is on the second floor, but there are elevators available.
And so my follow-up question, this is Janae again, Commissioner Janae. So where will people park?
This is Angie. You're still welcome to park in the parking garage here.
Okay.
And
Here
then you would
at
just,
at 144?
this is Angie, 141 North
141.
Front Street. And then you would cross at the crosswalk.
But I think the address to the parking garage is not 141.
This is Angie. It's tricky because that's the actual address, but to navigate it, you have to put in a different address, which is Jenny.
Hi, this is Jenny. I've given this out many times. So the garage building address, because it has a pedestrian entrance on Front Street, is referred to as the 141 North Front Street parking garage. Because the pedestrian entrance is on North Front Street. However, if you are accessing the garage to park your vehicle and you are using a map app, the address you want to put in is 144 North Ludlow Street.
Oh, Ludlow.
That is because the entrance for vehicles is on the back side of the garage, which is technically on Ludlow Street. So if you put 144 North Ludlow Street into Google Maps or Apple Maps or what have you, it will lead you directly to the vehicle entrance to this garage.
This is Angie, and thanks to the work of our previous committee leadership, all of this information is in the accessibility guide, which will be sent out to everyone.
Okay, thank you both. Is that everything on the agenda, Angie?
This is Angie. Yes, it is.
And we are at the current time is. It's 3:27, so we have 3 minutes to spare. Do we need to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
This is Angie. Yes.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion that we happily adjourn the meeting? Any of the commissioners can make a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Bob Green, so moved.
Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
Is that Justin? So Bob has moved that we adjourn the meeting. Justin has seconded that motion.
Yes.
Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Hearing nothing, anybody opposed of us not leaving? Okay. If nobody's opposed, everybody enjoy the rest of their week and weekend. See you all next month.
Thank you to everyone attending
Thank you,
online.
everybody.
Bye-bye.